As you know, there really is no off-season when it comes to college football, and that's certainly the case here at the University of Wisconsin. Coach Paul Chryst making a major addition to the coaching staff here recently. The hiring, the reuniting, if you will, of Bobby Engram, who will be the offensive coordinator. The two worked together when Paul was a head coach at the University of Pittsburgh. First, a belated welcome. You imagine it's a whirlwind for you right now, Bobby. Can you give us an idea of what your days are like right now as you get acclimated, you get to know the staff, you get to know the players? What's it been like for you?
First of all, thank you, man. I appreciate the welcome. It's been great. It's only been a week, so the first week has been a whirlwind. The first thing is to make sure you get all of the HR, the extensive HR paperwork and everything out of the way, so all of that is situated. And then it's just really spending time with the coaches. I spent some time with Coach Bostad and talk run game. You know, me and Paul have been back and forth on a lot of things and really trying to get the GAs working on some of the playbook stuff. And then my favorite part is just the players. You know, been watching those guys work out and being around, just being able to see them and just shake hands and talk to them, and just having guys, you know, kind of come up to the office consistently. So that's been a lot of time, just the first week, just getting settled in. But it's all exciting, and it's all great, and I'm looking forward to really settling down and getting going in some football.
I mentioned reuniting with Coach Chryst. When you worked with him at Pitt, what is it about him that you really liked, and the opportunity to come back here was really an attractive option for you?
Paul is 100% football. He really enjoys being around the players, and he's the same guy every day. He's consistent. You know, that's just who he is personality-wise. With the X's and O's, you know, I love his approach. I think we have similar philosophies in terms of how he runs the balls, wants to play action pass, you know, get his good players involved. And we were able to do some pretty cool stuff there a couple of years when we had Tyler Boyd. So I'm looking forward to recreating that with this young, talented group of wide receivers that we have in the running game. And it's going to be a lot of fun working with this offensive staff.
The world, I guess, can be relatively small when it comes to any sport, but football, the connections. I know
Right.
Mike Lucas, you had a chance to talk with him. He wrote an interesting piece on you. Obviously, Scott Tolzien, you know him, the Harbaughs,
Right.
John and Jim. Did you get to know Zeitler, Kevin Zeitler, at all in your time with her? He's one of the all-time greats
I
here.
love that guy. So interestingly enough, when we sat in our offensive team room, it would be tight ends and the O-line would be behind me. And literally Zeit sat right behind me. So we've had some interesting conversations. And I love Joe D'Alessandris, our O-line coach in Baltimore. And I spent a lot of time, and I would go to a lot of their meetings, like whenever we didn't have meetings, and just sit in just to listen to how he coached the line play. I mean, Zeit is a hoot, man. He's an intense guy. He is wired the right way, and he loves Wisconsin. You know, spoke very highly of Coach Bostad. But I really enjoyed working with Zeit for that 1 year I was there.
It was interesting.
He was there.
Yeah, I talked to him. There was the day of the last regular season game. There was a Wisconsin basketball game in Maryland. Kevin was there, and he said he was going to take a few weeks off. I'm thinking, yeah, right. He's probably in the weight room
Right,
as we speak, right? That's just the way Kevin is.
Tell him he owes me one. I got him a parking pass for that game.
Is that right?
He owes me
Okay, I
one.
will pass that along. Absolutely. I've heard, Bobby, coaches through the years, they downplay, they say, look, football is football. But I'm thinking with the stops that you have made in your career as a player, as a coach, you're always learning something. So is there something to be said for, you know, a fresh idea here and there, just something that you can bring that, like, oh, okay, hadn't thought of that. That's why you're here. Is there something to be said for that?
Yeah, man, I think that's a part of the equation, certainly. And that's not just me. I think the places I've been around, there's no, you know, anybody that has a great idea, right? I'm like, bring it, you know, and that it can come from anywhere. And I think you have buy-in. I think coaches are really energized by getting the work done and finding a great idea and being able to help the offense out. So yeah, it starts with me as the coordinator, but also I like to get the fresh new ideas from everybody. And you know, there's something to be said from being around different systems. You know, being around Gabby Kubiak, I learned quite a bit about how they married the run and the pass game with the movements. You know, being around Greg, obviously we ran the ball really well the last few years. You know, being in the NFL. So yeah, I've picked up different tidbits from every coach, and not just schematically. I'm talking about the approach, how you organize, how you communicate, and I think all of those things are important to going into a good football, being a great football coach.
I know you were asked multiple questions about Dean Engram, your son, defensive back, veteran defensive back, making the move to wide receiver now. Is there something to be said? I know he played wide receiver in high school and was really good, as well as being a DB, but he's been a DB at the college level now. Is there something to be said? He knows some things on that side of the ball that can help him considerably as he makes the transition?
Absolutely. I think it definitely should help him, especially learning under Coach Leonard, Coach Hank, and the staff here. I mean, our defense is it's like a pro-style defense. So he's learned defensive football at a really high level. And I really challenged him to pick their brains, to be a student of the game, not just to know what to do, but know the whys and the hows, but why you're calling the coverage. So, yeah, I think some of that will translate over. The defense is already talking about him having a leg up in the signal, so they're changing the signals. But I'm excited because the move happened not organically. And Dean wanted to make sure that all of the hard work and effort that the defensive coaches put in, like he just wanted to do it the right way. We all wanted to do it the right way, and I think it's going to be a great fit for our offense. But I think it'll just help the team in general.
Final one for you. There must be an appeal to the college game because you're obviously very well respected as an NFL coach. To come back here. I know it's the fit, but is there just something about the college game that you find extra special?
Yeah, college is exciting. And I don't know if it was subconscious, but it's my son being here. We were able to make it up to 2 games this year, and just sitting back as a dad, but as a fan and watching the game, me and my wife had a ball. Just the energy, the intensity in the stadium. I think NFL football is amazing. I love college football. So really for me as a football enthusiast, I can't go wrong. But I think Matt Moore was the fit in terms of Paul, the program, and the opportunity to come here. But I'm energized about being around these young men and helping them grow as players and hopefully as men as well.
And welcome back to the Big Ten.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Good to be home.
Absolutely. That is Bobby Engram, the Badgers' new offensive coordinator. Stay with us. We have more to come as we continue with the Badgers Sports Report.